So I was born and raised over on the East Coast. You know, I was farmer boy for a little while. My mom, she was addicted to drugs my whole life since I can remember. She was a pill popper, an alcoholic, and I never knew my father, my real father. I met him like one time. He's a good dude. But I had a stepfather, you know, and he taught me a lot. You know, he taught me how to use heavy equipment and operate machinery and stuff like that. Taught me how to, you know, keep the house warm and all these good things. But he was dying of cancer, and I was just a young boy. I didn't really know, you know, I never seen death before. I didn't understand death. But one day we were just out in the field, working in the field, and he just dropped dead on me. And it kind of like messed me up for a while, you know, because I did have a relationship with God. See, I knew Jesus, like Ben said earlier, but he wasn't, I was a little boy. He wasn't like sitting in my heart, you know. I was like 10 years old. I just heard all the good news. Wasn't, you know, so when that happened, I was just like, dang, dude, what kind of God does that? You know? And I kind of hardened my heart a little bit towards that. And my mom being on pills, and we moved to California roughly right after that, after he passed away, because she was on methadone and couldn't get a job, because if she were to go take a drug test, well, she would come back positive and I'd end up going to foster care again. So she moved to California with her mother, my grandmother, where I stayed with them until I was like 16. And about that time is when I started dabbling in drugs myself. I was smoking and drinking and partying and doing whatever I could, actually, get my hands on. And by the time I was 23 years old, I was a full-blown alcoholic, and I was doing robberies every single night. And I ended up going to prison when I was 23 for robbery. I did 5 years in prison, and while I was in prison, I didn't get any awards, that's for sure. I got a couple of shoe turns and attempted murder while I was there, and I ended up going to Pelican Bay State Prison for attempted murder. I was in the shoe for 2 years, and the DA never picked up the case. So I was really blessed. I think about it now, it was all God, because there was something happening in my life that I didn't even know about that was happening. And, it wasn't a good thing. This was the hardest trial I ever went through in my life. It was kind of like I was just thrown in the fire without even getting a heads up. I paroled from prison after, you know, doing 5 years in prison. And I really thank God today that he sent me. I went to prison because I built up a character while I was in prison, because I never really had a man in my life to teach me how to be a man. When I went to prison, I was still a young boy, and I was around men. And I was just like, man, a lot of these guys are older convicts, old military guys, and you know, the way of thinking, they're harsh. So I had to adapt. So when I got out of prison, there was something in the making in my life that I didn't know was coming. And it was a good thing that I spent some time in prison, because I could have handled myself a little better in this situation, but I did okay. When I got out of prison, I was 28 years old, and I guess I didn't do okay. I instantly started doing drugs. And I got addicted to methamphetamines, 4 months out of prison. And then I started tripping out on people. I felt like, man, bad things were happening. I was like, I'm not used to this, you know. I was in a lot of pain, and I was getting a little, I became pathological, and everything was just crazy. I became a sociopath. I didn't care who was getting hurt. I was hurting people. I was doing robberies. Man, I was just not good. It wasn't a good time for me. And I just remember, after all the pain and stuff I was going through, I was on drugs. I just couldn't take another minute of it. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I was in Stockton. I was on Pacific Avenue by Tiger's Yogurt and the McDonald's right there. And I jumped out of my car, and I just screamed on the name of the Lord. I just said, God. I said, God, I need your help right now. I just need somebody. I need you to do it. I just thought, okay, kill me or do something. I'd move. He moved for sure. He moved in my life. He moved mountains in my life. You know, the bad things didn't stop happening. I didn't stop doing drugs, but right away. I didn't stop doing drugs, but I felt His presence with me. I felt the Holy Spirit. I started talking in tongues, and I started talking to the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit told me things, and I started repeating things that He was telling me, and I had people looking at me like, what the heck? And I just started walking on water like, what's up? But that might have been the drugs, but... And then I just realized I was really miserable. I was like, oh man, all this pain and torture. I couldn't get away from what was happening to me. Like I felt like I was being attacked by demons and stuff. So I started doing robberies again. I do what I knew how to do best. I knew how to do robberies. So I went to the same Walgreens every single night for 2 weeks straight. They knew me by name. I walked in, I was like, hey, oh gosh, this guy's back again. I was like, give me the cash register. I'm here for it. And they're like, oh man. One time, they took all the money out of the cash register and gave me the cash register. I was like, oh, you guys knew I was coming. But I got arrested. Finally, they took me to jail. They got tired of me robbing the Walgreens 9 times later. And, man, I was sitting in the police department, and they're like, yeah, you're looking at like 18 years with all these robberies. I was like, oh, man. And I go to court, and they're all, hey, what's up, man? 2 years right now. Take the deal. I was like, 2 years? I sat there for an hour talking to my attorney. I don't know. This seems kind of weird. He's like, it's 2 years. Take the deal. I was like, I don't know. Am I going to be in county or... I don't want to be in the county. I know. Dude, are you serious? I was like, is there a strike? I'm tripping out still. I'm still tripping out. Like, I'm just sobering up, and God was just moving in my life, and I'm still paranoid. Like, are you a demon? Are you sent by God? Well, apparently they were sent by God. They gave me the best deal of my life. I took 2.5, and when I was in prison, because this is what I asked for too. I was going through all these things, and I was doing these robberies. Like, God, just send me back to jail. I was like, if I go to jail, I'll sober up. I can get my mind right. And that's what He gave me. He put me in jail, and the first thing I did was pick up a Bible, and I read the whole Old Testament. That's how I drew close to God. It's really true. Because the Bible says, if you draw close to me, I'll draw close to you. Come on. So I spent a long time in my cell and just reading that word, and I felt His presence. I didn't feel more love than I ever did when I read my Bible. I got out of prison. I immediately started going to church. I found His Way Community Church. I was introduced to Soldiers of the Cross through a couple members that go to His Way, and they were just like, hey man, you should be a part of this. You know, it's live and it's full of action. And, man, it's fun. It's fun punching the devil. I'm telling you. Yeah. He punched on me enough. So it's an honor to be here. I thank you guys very much. You guys have a blessed night.